From LP Savani Riverside School, Krupali Home. Important step. Remove the spoon after some time, add small quantity of water into tumbler and quickly replace the lid. Shake the tumbler well. Check the solution with red and blue litmus papers. Means here what you have to do is check this water with the help of red and blue litmus paper. If your red litmus will be converted into blue, your solution will be basic, and if your blue litmus will convert into the red. As you can see here, there is no changes into the red litmus, but when you dip the blue litmus, it will convert into the red. So you can conclude that as per your knowledge, this solution is the acidic in the nature. Here is given the table in which you have to fulfill the data. Metals and non-metals in acid and bases. Suppose here is the calcium and name of the base is the calcium hydroxide, and this one is the sulfuric acid, and in this component the metal or non-metal whatever is present is the sulfur. If in the particular base or in a particular acid, suppose in a hydrochloric acid, chlorine is present and hydrogen is also present. If one component is metal, then you have to write it here, and suppose someone is not metal, then you have to write in the non-metal column. You have to fulfill this wall table. The name of product forming the reaction of sulfur and oxygen is sulfur dioxide gas. What we did, we are burning this sulfur powder in the presence of air. It means indirectly we can say that in the presence of oxygen. So with the reaction of oxygen of the sulfur powder, our new product form, it is sulfur dioxide gas. And then after we will add the water inside the glass jar, so that sulfur dioxide will react with the water molecules. As you can see here, sulfur dioxide plus water will gives you sulfurous acid. There is H2SO4, formula of the sulfuric acid, but here is H2SO3, 3 stand for sulfurous acid. When the sulfur dioxide is dissolved in water, sulfurous acid is formed. The reaction can be given as follow. You can write the reaction exactly like this. The sulfurous acid which present inside the glass jar after the water sulfur dioxide reaction, we are going to check it with the help of blue and red litmus paper, and we are found that blue litmus is converted into the red. So we can conclude that the sulfurous acid is the acidic in the nature. So generally oxides of nonmetals are acidic in the nature. In the earlier session what we are conclude, the oxide of metals are basic in the nature, but right now we can conclude that oxide of nonmetals are acidic in the nature because blue litmus is converted into the red litmus. Recall the name of some the laboratory acids and bases you have read in the class 6. You can say that sodium chloride, HNO3, sulfuric acid, sodium carbonate, these all are the example of acids and bases. Note down their names in the table number 4.4 as I say to do here. Identify the metal or non-metal present in them which forms oxides with oxygen. What you have to do here, name of the bases you have to write here. Suppose sodium hydroxide, you will write here sodium hydroxide, but sodium is metal, that's why in the portion of this you will write metal, and name of the acid you will write here, and the non-metal will be right here. Reaction with water. What will happen if we are react the metals and non-metal with water? According to general knowledge, we can say that metal will react with the water, but non-metal will not give any such reactions with the water. Let's start by the activity. Here is one extra information that sodium metal is very reactive, so be careful about it. It reacts vigorously with oxygen and water so fastly. A lot of heat is generated in the reaction, that's why stored in kerosene, so that the sodium will not able to react with directly water. This experiment will be demonstrated by the teachers only. You doesn't need to try it at your home if you have all the components then even. Take 250 ml of beaker or glass tumbler and fill half of with the water, and now carefully cut small piece of sodium metal. Write using filter paper and wrap the small piece with the help of cotton. Put the sodium piece wrapped in cotton into the beaker and observe carefully. What you have to do here is, first of all, take a one beaker and add 250 ml of water inside this beaker. Then after, take one sodium piece and dry it with the help of filter paper, so that you will get the perfect moistureless sodium paste. Now wrap this sodium paste with a cotton paste, and then after add that cotton wrapped sodium paste into the water filled glass tumbler, and keep the distance from the glass, because this reaction will be produced so much amount of the heats and it may hurts you, that's why. Then after, observe the reaction carefully, and it will appears like this. When reaction stops, touch the beaker. When this reaction will take stops, you can touch the beaker. What do you feel? Has the beaker become hot? Of course it will become hot, because there is the production of so much amount of the heat. Taste the solution with red and blue litmus papers. Is the solution acidic or basic? What we do here is, sodium is a metal, and we took a water also. It means check the metal and water reaction, and then after we have to check the solution with the litmus paper. You observe that sodium react vigorously with water, some other metals do not do so. It doesn't necessary that all the metal will react with water too much fastly or vigorously. Suppose take an example of aluminium or gold. Both are the metal. If you are put both the metals base inside the water, then you will appear nothing, but sodium will react too much fastly inside the water. For example, iron reacts with water slowly. It means iron will form the rust in the presence of water and air both. Generally, nonmetals do not react with water. Nonmetals are not react with the water, as you know it already. So they may be very reactive in the air. Such nonmetals are stored in water. For examples, phosphorus is a Phosphorus is a very reactive nonmetal. It catches fire if exposed to air. To prevent the content of phosphorus with atmospheric oxygen, it is stored in water. What is saying here that phosphorus is a nonmetal, and as we know already, nonmetal will not react with the water, but phosphorus will react very dangerously with the oxygen of the air. That's why it is hurtful or dangerous for us. That's why what we have to do is take the phosphorus and put it into the water. That's why it will not react with the water also, and air will also be not available with the phosphorus because of the water presence. So it is the better option. If we put the phosphorus in the air, then it will immediately catches the fire, and if it exposes to the air. Reaction with the acids. What will happen if the acid will be react with metals and non-metals? Let's see how metals and non-metals behave with the acid. For this, we have to perform one activity, as you can see here. Here is explain all the activity. First, you have to take the test tubes A, B, C, D, E, F. 6 test tube we have to do. Metal or non-metal, whatever we are taking is written here. Suppose in the test tube number A, we are adding the magnesium in the form of ribbon pieces. Second test tube, we are going to add the aluminium foil. In the third, we are going to fill iron fillings. In the D, copper in the form of peeled or flexible wire. You can use copper wire also, but it should be pure copper. Charcoal in the form of powder, and sulfur powder in the test tube number F. It means as you are given the information here, you have to fill the respective sample in the respective test tube. Then after, you have to do is reaction with dilute hydrochloric acid and reaction with dilute sulfuric acid. Let's see. Take sample of metals and non-metals listed in the table number 4.5 in separate test tubes and label them A, B, C, D, E and F. With the help of dropper, add 5 ml of dilute hydrochloric acid to each test tube one by one. Observe the reaction carefully. If no reaction occurs in the cold solution, warm the test tube gently. Bring burning matchstick near the mouth of each test tube. Repeat the same activity using dilute sulfuric acid instead of the HCl. Record your observation. What you have to do here is, first of all, take this sample as per I told you earlier, and then after, with the help of dropper, you can add the hydrochloric acid inside this, and then check the temperature if it is warm or not, and if there is not any reaction is happening, you can warm the test tube. Be very careful. Same way, do the same thing with the reaction of sulfuric acid, but remove all this content and again made the sample, and instead of hydrochloric acid you have to add the sulfuric acid, and just observe the reaction. If there is any pop sound on the neck of test tube, if we are going to apply the burning matchstick, then you have to mention it also in your book, and just tick here it is on the room temperature or warm, and record the data by filling this table. We are going to learn all this content in the next session.